So check it out, guys. We ended up rallying at the end of the day, which, not to toot my own horn, I did call that out in the previous video I made a couple of hours ago, so we got to break that down in this video. And on top of that, like you all saw in the title, we got to break down 7 stocks that I'm looking at now. So sit back, relax, get your free money from Moomoo. You get 1 free share of NEO guaranteed, which runs out the end of March. And on top of that, you get up to 5 other stocks, each of which could be valued up to $3,500. It's free money, guys. Use that link down below, deposit at least $100, and boom, you get your free money. And with that being said, let's dive into the video. So markets closed about 1 hour ago, and take a look at this volatility. Jeez, guys, we ended up ripping in the morning. We hit 452 on SPY. We ended up dumping all the way down to 448. We ran up until power hour. Power hour hit, which I think I made my video right around power hour a couple of hours ago. We hit about 452, and then we dumped heading into the beginning of power hour to the middle of power hour. Actually, we hit about 449 at 3:30 p.m. on the East Coast, and then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, we ended up ripping into the close, which again, I talked about in my previous video. So we saw SPY go from 449 up to about 452.50. It ran up about 0.7% in the last 25 minutes of the day, and it ended up closing up about 0.5%. And we saw the same thing with Triple Q. Triple Q didn't close green. It went down about 0.1% on the day, but still, it was a rocky day, and we ended up closing on a very strong green note, V-shaped recovery, whatever you want to call it, right? We ended up hitting power hour at about $359. We dumped down to about $356 in the middle of power hour, and then we had that V-shaped recovery, and we took out the highs from before power hour, which I think is a pretty strong sign for the bulls. And by the looks of it, this wants to go higher, in my opinion. If you guys take a look on the 20-day chart on Triple Q, it looks pretty bullish. And on the 4-hour chart, we are noticing it's trying to fill the gap up to about 366, 368. That's where, in my humble opinion, we could be going next week. That's truly where I think we could be going. And when it comes to SPY, going back to SPY, we broke out of 448. We cracked above 450. We closed on a high point when it comes to the week. So we closed at a high, which is great. And the next gap I'm seeing here is up to 458. We've talked about this many times, and I believe by the looks of it, next week, that is where we could be going. So great week overall for SPY, Triple Q. It wasn't the best day today overall. We did have some red. Tech was red a bit. Russell didn't do much. But the S&P and Dow did well today. S&P, again, like I said, went up 0.5%. Dow went up about 0.4%. So not the best of days, not the worst of days. It was kind of a mixed bag overall, which, again, like I showed you guys on the intraday chart, we were all over the place today. It was very rocky, very volatile, but again, we ultimately did end up closing green on the S&P and the Dow and the Russell, which at the end of the day, that is a very good sign. So drop me your thoughts down below in the comments. Smash the like button, subscribe if you haven't done so already. And let's dive into some stocks right now, which I'm looking at as we are wrapping up March slowly but surely and heading into the month of April in 2022. So number one, which funny enough is not a stock, it's actually a REIT, a real estate investment trust. It's Realty Income, ticker symbol O. This went up 1.75% today. And what I'm noticing on the 4-hour chart is starting to reverse out of the moving averages. In fact, this is the first time we've even been above the moving averages. This week is what I'm saying, right? Is the first week we've been above the moving averages since the middle towards the end of January. So this is a very good sign. The fact that we went up almost 2% on the day, we pulled back the past couple of days. Not today, obviously. We had a green day. We didn't pull back today, but we did pull back on Thursday, I believe, Wednesday, Thursday. We bounced off the moving averages and we catapulted above the highs from earlier this week, which were set on Tuesday. So very strong week for Realty Income. Very strong close as well. Very strong close. So in my opinion, this could be breaking out towards $70 next week. It might not crack above 70, but we might test it. That's kind of what I'm thinking. And I'm personally long Realty Income. All of you guys on my Patreon know that. I post all my buys and sells in real time on Patreon. I'm long Realty Income. I'm collecting that good old dividend, and I don't plan on selling. Quite honestly, I think this could be going mid-70s towards $80 a share at some point in 2022. So I'm waiting for that price appreciation. And again, like I said, I'm collecting the dividend in the meantime. So nice move for Realty Income today. And again, if we break 68, 70 bucks, this thing could fly even more. Another one that I'm looking at here is KHC, not KFC, guys. I know you want your fried chicken. I know you want to eat. I'm hungry myself. I actually have some food downstairs. Maybe that's why I'm thinking KFC. But we're talking KHC here, guys. Kraft Heinz, which makes a lot of products that you and I personally know, and we probably use them. If you have, a refrigerator, you probably got some KHC products in your refrigerator. Today, Kraft Heinz went up 1.7%, a little bit under what Realty Income went up on the day. And what I'm noticing is, number one, in the grand scheme of things here, an inverse head and shoulders that's been panning out for a couple of weeks. I mean, gosh, I think I drew out these ovals, the inverse head and shoulders you're seeing here. I drew this out weeks ago, and it looks like it played out. I mean, I haven't looked at KHC's chart in a couple of weeks, and we're playing out beautifully. The right shoulder is it's playing out. We're above both moving averages. We just had a high of 40 bucks recently. We pulled back to 37, held it. Now we're ripping back towards 40. So in my opinion, we could be going up over 40 bucks next week, no problem, and in the coming weeks. And if I pull up this 3-year chart, maybe the yearly chart will show it. Here's the yearly chart. This is the 1 year, 1 day. We're noticing, again, the inverse head and shoulders. We're above the moving averages. We're taking out multi-month level resistances. And if we clear above, let's say 40, 41, we're talking mid-40s. KHC could be going mid-40s, and I know it's not the sexiest stock. It's not a tech, high-flying stock, but who cares at the end of the day? If the chart looks good, if we're gaining momentum, what's the difference? I mean, we're here to make money in the short term. We're not looking to invest in KHC for the long term. These are for trades, right? These stocks I'm looking at. So it doesn't matter if it's a tech stock, if it's this, that. I mean, obviously, it could matter a little bit. I don't want to say it doesn't matter at all, but if the chart looks good, technicals look good, I'm liking it, which in this case, it looks good, and I'm going to set my alert. I might just put 2 alerts. I'll put one at 40 bucks a share, and I'll do another one at $41 a share. So create alert. Mark is at or above $41. There we go. So I put 2 alerts on KHC. Watch out for that right shoulder to complete. It's going to be anywhere from $44 to $45. That's if it completes. It's not guaranteed. Nothing is guaranteed, but if it does complete, that is where it could be going. JNJ is playing out just like I said, guys, just like I said. Did I not mention if it broke out of 173, the next gap would be to about 180, which is that all-time high, a little bit under 180. We hit that in the middle of August. And I also said, when I did call that out a couple of videos ago, I mentioned how we're probably going to consolidate a bit above 173, 175. That's what we did. And today we confirmed the breakout. We went up 1%. We bounced off that 180 SMA and 50 SMA, mostly the 50 SMA on this 4-hour chart. And we took off like a rocket above 174, 173 bucks over the past 2 trading days. So J&J looks great. It's, in my opinion, heading towards all-time highs next week, maybe the week after. And you guys have to realize, KHC and J&J, both of these, they move a bit slower. I mean, I mentioned it. They're not tech stocks. They're not momentum stocks. They're not these sexy stocks that run up 50% in 2 weeks. They could, but it's very unlikely. Very, very unlikely. But they could make a couple percentage points. They could move, $5, a couple bucks, right? So I'm watching J&J for that reason. If we go up to 180, that gives us about 2% more upside from here, and I think we could break 180. I think we might go to all-time highs very soon here on J&J. I think it's going to happen within the next couple of weeks. I personally believe that. I could be wrong, but that's what I believe, right? So J&J looks solid. GIS, which is General Mills, they just reported earnings. I think 2-3 days ago they had pretty good earnings, and the stock went up yesterday and today as well, up 1.5% today. And the reason why I'm covering it again is because today, take a look at this, guys, we broke out of the downtrend trend line that I drew out. We're not fully out of the woods yet, but we are slowly peaking above it, and we're breaking out of the 180 SMA on this 4-hour chart, which I believe this will lead GIS, which again is General Mills. It's going to lead it up to 70 bucks, 69, 70 bucks, which was the high point from the middle of January, about a little bit over 2 months ago, 2.5 months ago. So GIS, watch out for this move to continue, maybe to all-time highs. I think it's possible. Actually, now that I'm looking at the max chart here, it's not $69 is not the all-time high. The all-time high was hit back in 2016, which is at 73. So if we break 69, $70, we're probably going to go to 73 in the short term. That's what I'm thinking here on GIS. Nvidia is another one which we covered recently, and I mentioned to you all how it might pull back a little bit, or at least start to pull back, a mini pullback. And today we went down 1.6%. You guys can see overall it's breaking out of the wedge, moving averages. We're noticing a golden cross, all that good stuff, but it's not going to go up. It's not going to go up forever with no pullbacks. That's not how it works, guys. And I mentioned this, I think yesterday or 2 days ago when we talked about Nvidia. We noticed how it ran up in the middle of March, about 10 days ago, from 245 to about 270. It pulled down to 255. Then we had that huge run up yesterday, and pre-market today we were at 290. Now we're slowly pulling back, and honestly I think it could come back a little bit more, pull back a little bit more, maybe down to about 270 flat. Now we're in the mid-high 270s. So if we come down a little bit more, $5-10, this might be where buyers step in, right around the moving averages, to continue the overall breakout. So Nvidia is a must watch in my opinion. I'm not in it, but I am in AMD, which I believe is, it's not even a belief of mine. It is lagging behind Nvidia. So I'm in it at about 119, well, exactly 119 flat. I'm in AMD, and it's lagging behind Nvidia. I think ultimately we're going to break out, whether it's next week, the week after. I think AMD is going to go towards 130, where I do plan on selling out of the shares. HPQ is another one, HP Incorporation. This one up 3.4% today. And look at this. We're breaking out of the overall downwards channel that the stock has been in since the middle of December. So we're breaking out of that channel. We're above the moving averages. We have a golden cross here, and we're also trading at a multi-month high. In fact, we just hit almost $40, which might be an all-time high for this stock. Let me double check on the max chart. Probably not. Yeah, it's actually an all-time high. So we hit an all-time high today, and by the looks of it, it is a bit overbought on the 4-hour chart, but who knows? I mean, momentum could take this even higher. Mid-40s, 43, 45. That's where it could be going. And of course, we'll see many pullbacks in between, like with every stock, but the momentum is definitely there, which is why I'm thinking 40 plus could be right around the corner. So that's HPQ on the last one for this video. If you guys stuck till the end, let me know in the comments. Say stuck till the end, drop an emoji, whatever. Let me know if you guys stuck till the end. The last one here is Lululemon, ticker symbol LULU. This one up over 1% on the day, and it's fighting in real time as we speak. Here in the after hours and all day today, it was fighting right by the 180 moving average on the 4-hour chart, which is right about at $320 a share. If we crack above I'm going to say 325, 330, that is where a real reversal could occur. Look, 330 was the high from earlier this month. 345, 350 was the high from earlier last month in February. So if we start breaking 330, 350 plus, that's where Lululemon could really start taking off. And on top of that, we have earnings coming up next week. I think Monday, Tuesday, we have earnings on the 29th, whatever day that is. I think that's on a Tuesday, after market hours. And on the 3-year chart, Lululemon looks pretty good. It's holding the uptrend. The pullback we saw recently of 35-40% was a healthy pullback, believe it or not, more than just a pullback. I mean, geez, it's in a bear market, guys, but it does seem like buyers are slowly stepping in at this longer-term moving average, the overall uptrend longer term for the long-term charts. It's holding, which is solid. So let's see if we start breaking out on the shorter term charts, which would obviously, again, lead this thing to 350, maybe even higher. So overall, guys, those are 7 stocks I'm looking at heading into April 2022. I'd love to know your thoughts in the comments. Make sure to hit the like button, subscribe, and feel free to join my Patreon if you want all my buy, sells, call outs, morning update videos, plus more access to me throughout the day, Discord access, all that good stuff. That's linked down below, or you guys can go go to StockSurfest.com/Patreon. And don't forget to get your free money from Moomoo. You get 1 free share of Neo guaranteed, which runs out at the end of this month. And on top of that, you get up to 5 other stocks, each of which could be valued up to $3,500. I'm telling you guys, it's free money. Use that link down below or go to StockSurfest.com/Moomoo. Deposit $100 and boom, you get this free money. And with that being said, I'll catch you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching. As always, peace out.